Hi, welcome back, everybody. And again, thanks to Steph and the previous panel for the very intense discussion. It was really, very interesting. Our next presentation is about automating the future of logistics. And with us, we have Alan Mackey, General Manager, Solution Design and Implementation for CEVA Australia, and Darren James, who's the Innovation Manager also from CEVA Australia. Gentlemen, welcome to LogiSYM. It's great to have you here. And look forward to your presentation. In your hands.
Thank you, Joe. Hello, everyone. My name is Alan Mackey. I'm heading up Solution Design and Implementation team for Australia and New Zealand. And today, alongside with Darren, we have the honor of being as a guest speaker here to provide you with some information about the automation. So we try to have this presentation more on some photos and the videos, so not being very boring on the words. And we're going to show you with some what are some of the key trends that we have in automation for the logistics industry. So the first questions that when we are employing the automation and the innovation is why we are using automation generally, not just in the logistics industry, but also in everywhere. Why automation is being deployed. We normally use automation because it's a better way of doing things, especially for the repetitive stuff, the repetitive works that comes into to our warehouse and into our operations. Some of the key benefits that automation providing us is it improves our productivity. We can have more capacity with the same level of resources and the headcounts, for example, we have in the warehouse. These are the quantity type of benefits. The quality types are like it increases the accuracy for us. It gives us more control and safety. It provides us better environmental sustainability. It can move our operations more toward green initiatives, and also for some automation. Given that the one that we're going to use, the cube of the building, that also helps us in reducing the footprint and all associated footprint costs around it. So these are some of the key benefits of the automation, especially the one that we can see and we can feel within the logistics industry. Darren, over to you.
Thanks, Alan. Good morning, everyone. I'm Darren James, Innovations Manager for CEVA Logistics, Australia and New Zealand. Following on from what Alan has just explained as to why automation, in this short presentation, we will cover things like automation systems, trends and technologies that we have either researched, run pilot programs on, or implemented within CEVA within the last few years. In particular, we will be looking into goods-to-person systems, namely AMR, cobots, ASRS, as well as also looking into applications that drones are now having in the logistics environment, the introduction of blockchain technology within the supply chain, and then also just to finish off with have a look into where the industry is heading into a not too distant future slideshow. We understand that there are many initiatives and programs out there, and unfortunately, we don't have enough time today to cover all of them, but we're hopeful that the short presentation will spark the interest into automation and prompts you to research it further and see what the marketplace has to offer in the areas of automation, digitalization, and green, which is another name for environmentally friendly projects and initiatives. Alan and I, as he said beforehand, find it better to show rather than describe. Therefore, we have embedded a few short videos during this presentation that will hopefully provide you a glimpse into how they work and highlight their benefits. So I do hope you enjoy. Starting off with AMR technology. So what is AMR? Basically, it stands for Automated Mobile Robots. It's a robotic system that retrieves the shelving racks from the storage location and via the robot transfers it to a workstation where the items are picked from an operator guided by the system's control. The workstation where the operator stands is interchangeable, as it can be used for both the picking process as well as the replenishment. What we have found since operational, we've seen improvements for both picking and replenishment. Picking, we're seeing up to 2.5 times more productive than the manual pick, and for replenishment up to 1.5 times better than manual. What attracted us to the AMR setup was its flexibility and the scalability that the solution actually brings us. It's certainly well suited for a multi-customer environment where you've got ever-changing volumes and peaks and troughs. Perfect order profile for the system. Has to be small items with a very large SKU base, so a massive product range. And the order size generally relatively small. So when we talk small, between 1 and 2 items per order. Basically perfect for e-commerce. We've got a short video that follows now that shows the AMRs in action.
Okay, Darren, there?
Yeah. Hopefully that came through. Apologies to the audience. I'm based in Adelaide, and currently I'm having a little bit of intermittent Wi-Fi. So hopefully that video was played with uninterrupted. But yeah, it gave a nice overview of AMR in action. Moving on from AMR to the cobot, known because it's a collaborative notion between both the manual picker and the actual robot itself. It's truly a wonderful solution as in order to integrate a level of automation into your business without the need to redesign or change any of your existing infrastructure. It's still based on a very standard manual picking process, but it substitutes the travel time on either a ride-on pallet runner or a manual push trolley between locations. So how does it work? As you can see there, an order is placed in the system. The robot with an empty tote will travel to the pick location and awaits a picker to arrive. Once the picker arrives to the robot, it's instructed via the screen in what items to actually pick and from where to pick them from. Once that item is picked, the robot will then continue on its journey to the next location until the order is completed. On fulfillment, that entire robot with the filled tote will return to a pack station where the order will be fulfilled. Benefits, again, as part of the AMRs, it shows significant reduction in travel time between pick locations. And again, it's a nice flexible solution that can be scaled up at a moment's notice. Again, we can see the cobot in action in one of our facilities in Benelux.
Yeah, so today we're going live with LogiSYM. First day we have the robots really at work for us and operationally, and having a full day of orders being picked by the robots together with the pickers, of course.
Yeah, the Locust robots are really helping the pickers. So we don't call them robots, actually we call them cobots, because they're cooperating with our order pickers.
But innovation is something that we're not yet recognized for. And what we want to achieve is that in 5 years, our people, our new recruits, but also the competition, the industry says, Siva, that they could care of their people, they do really well in lean, and they're really driving innovation.
Awesome. Thanks, Alan. Before continuing with the goods to person type of systems that the warehousing can offer us, I thought let's just break it up a bit and have a look into drone technology and how it's being integrated into logistics. There are two noticeable applications for the drones at the moment. Firstly, for deliveries, specifically around the rapid parcel delivery that the e-commerce sector is ever needing. As delivery times are becoming shorter, the industry is looking at ways to keep up with it. And the drones are certainly a way to do this. As most of you are I'm pretty sure, are well aware of the drones already, as it's not a new concept. As you can see below, the first autonomous test flight was actually done 5 years ago in November 2016. So testing has been done on a popular pizza delivery company as well as an online shopping industry. Main challenges for the drones, however, for deliveries is foremost the civil aviation security regulations, where legislation is dependent on not only the country or state level, but also around the area that the flight path will be crossing. So, i.e., you're not going to be able to operate delivery drones over airports or airspace. Regardless of these challenges, I do think that it's not too futuristic to envisage that one day a drone will be delivering a parcel to a landing zone near you. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. Actually, in a practical application that is happening at the moment, we are seeing the ever-increasing implementation of drones within distribution centers, and is primarily used for inventory maintenance. The two options that we currently are seeing is either the tethered option, where the drone is tethered to an autonomous robot beneath. This is a great safety factor. So should anything happen with the drone, there's no employee working below it. The second option is the free flight. Although it is autonomous, it is recommended that you have a supervisor using it while in operating. Once the drone has conducted its flight via the mapped out warehouse, the information or data is uploaded to your WMS, warehouse management system, and then it's reviewed against your on-stock stock report to see any deviations. What we're finding, though, is that the drone for cycle counting is far more than just a counting tool or a productive counting tool. You do have added benefits because of the drone and the camera technology, where you've got either stilled photo or the video itself. It's flagging certain errors within the count process. So what that means is it might come across a pallet cube that is not positioned correctly in the rack, and it flags it as unsafe. It might come across a pallet that the wrapping has been damaged, it flags it as damaged, as well as if it's not wrapped correctly, where the cartons are, not a perfect cube, which may affect the health and safety of it. What this does is it flags it. It prompts someone to go and action that particular scenario, and it remains flagged until it's amended. So that's a nice little health and safety feature that it's bringing, as well as the uninterrupted inventory control. Thanks, Alan.
Thank you, Darren. So far, what Darren has provided was more on some of the agile and some of the more scalable and flexible type of solutions that mainly we can use within the warehouse floor, and with a bit of a touch on the delivery as well. However, there are other automations that they are capital intensive. However, they provide very, very big productivity improvement for us. So in the warehouse environment, we call them ASRS, or Automatic Storage and Retrieval System, which we have listed here. The three main that are available in the market. Each of them almost deliver the same type of productivities. However, the combination and how the setup works may be a bit, they are actually different to each other. So the first one that we are seeing here is a shuttle mini load system. So the products in this model, they are stored in totes. The totes are being called into a decant station. The items from the decant will be fit into those blue totes. The blue totes that go and just, they were stored in those towers. Which it's like a normal racking, but it's for tote storage. And then there are robots or the shuttles. They are moving between the aisles. They retrieve the totes. They take it to the quick pick stations, and the packer pick the items, put it in an order box, and it goes to the shipping lane. The other one is the auto store. There are a lot of high volume FMCG and also the online retailers. They are embracing this model. It does not work like the shuttle system. It has a denser or basically more dense storage medium. The robots are picking the items from the top, and the totes, including the SKUs, they are stored on top of each other. The payback for both models is normally sits between 5 or 7 years, and they are good for like massive volumes and high SKU profile as well. They give us sometimes some of those systems can give you like the productivity 10 times what you're getting out of the other solutions like the AMR or cobots. However, we need to understand that these solutions, they are for long term. They are capital intensive. So if the volume is so massive and it's steady, then they are a good solution to go compared to the payback that they're gonna provide. The other solution that it's a combination of the two is the SkyPod. So this solution has been in the market over the last 5 years. It's actually a nice solution. It works. The storage medium works like the shuttle system. However, the picking items are working like an auto store. So you have the robots. The robots actually can go retrieve the tote from the racking. They can. And the robot will bring the items, bring the totes by themselves to the picking station. Then the picker picks the item from them, and then the robots move them back. They can move horizontally, and they can move vertically within the rack. The good thing about the SkyPod and Exotic is there's no requirement for putting the conveyors in place, so your warehouse floor will be much more cleaner. Also, it will be more usable for example, if you have a peak time that you need to use it for storing some offsite or some block stack, you can use that area. So it's not gonna take up the whole warehouse floor by all sort of rollers and conveyors. Just to give you a bit of an idea in terms of how this SkyPod works, we also want to show you a quick video to see how this system is working. Okay, so that was the just a short video on the Skypod Exotic. Siva has actually is running an operation with Exotic in our Benelux operation in Europe. All right, so now that we have seen a couple of technologies, the low investment ones and agile one, the high capital intensive ones, let's look into what are the recent trends in terms of the digitization in the supply chain world. So what I wanted to present today is regarding blockchain. So I think every one of us know blockchain from the crypto. So we know it has been developed for Bitcoin, and it provides a track and trace visibility, and also it provides a environment for the data to remain just and not be altered. So it gives you a very good environment to keep and store the data. And this is literally what supply chain needs: visibility, to having the information that they don't alter. So we have the proper track and trace of the information throughout the supply chain, starting from the supplier downstream to going to the end user customers and on upstream. So that's why in the recent world, they have a lot of companies and a lot of initiatives has been done to embrace the blockchain technology into bringing for providing visibility and track and trace. As an example, how it's going to work. There is an operation for the meat export that I just want to show you how the blockchain capability can provide the track and trace. So from the start, when the meat is prepared, they are being put onto a container. Then the container is being tagged by either an RFID or NFC tag or a barcode. So then this barcode or the NFC can be read into a different stage of the supply chain, wherever the product is being touched, the container is being touched, from the port of export, from where it's being put staged on the ship or on the carrier, from the moment it's unloaded. It can also connect it to the temperature control within the same container, so it can transmit the temperature of at this point of time, the time tags. It was the temperature, and it can be uploaded. So when the supplier or the customer actually orders the meat through this blockchain, they can have full visibility of where the products are, what are the conditions of the product at this stage, if the products are gonna meet to their to the endpoint based on the agreed time and date, and the ETA can be met or there will be a delay. So rather than just put something on a server, the blockchain is being used to be able to store all the data to provide the proper track and trace and visibility on the whole event throughout the supply chain.
Gentlemen, that's great.
Darren?
We are running a little bit of time, so if you could wrap up your slides.
Yep.
Because there are a couple of questions coming through on that. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay,
Sure.
no problem. All right, so we were going to finish off with a nice little future slide here. We won't play the video, but I do implore you all to look into the Virgin Hyperloop. It's we've got some amazing marketing material online, and it just shows the applications from city logistics of transferring goods from the wharf, from the import exports into the locations. It's a very impressive video. I encourage you all to look into it. And then from a green standpoint, as well as automation, Tesla, as everyone is known for the environmental or solar cars. They're also introducing a Tesla ship, as well as the ground transportation, which is also autonomous. So I encourage you all at your own time to review The Future Is Here, because it certainly is exciting.
Great.
Up to you, Joe.
Gentlemen, we needed more time for this presentation because it was really excellent. I very much appreciated your presentation on the ASRS systems, which is quite traditional, but the Skypod is even more impressive. But as you said, it's very much an investment, there's infrastructure, you need a space, etc. But in today's environment where you've got adaptability and we have to scale up, cobots and AMR seem to be an interesting solution to overcome constraints, short-term constraints, labor, etc. What is the payback on those sort of type of investments? Because they're not big, they're not huge. How do you go about optimizing, using this technology in a cost-efficient way? You know, we've all got CFOs on our backs and always want the payback, etc. How should we go about this?
Okay, so you actually touched on a very good point, right? So, yeah, so the normal ROI of these type of operations, right, is for this type of a small, you know, these like a cobot or AMR, you're talking between 2 to 3 years, right? Again, it's if you're operating in a very high volume, you can sometimes less than between 1.5 to 2 years.
Okay.
However, we should not, when we are embracing this type of automations, Joe, it's not just we need to consider just the ROI, right? So ROI, of course, it's important. We need to make sure that for every penny that a company invests, we get a proper return for that. And there are things that can be done, right? So for example, one of the downfalls of AMR is you have a lot of cube that being wasted on top. So if you're putting a mezzanine, then you can operate in a denser way. But it may be good for you know, in a high footprint cost area, like if somewhere in New York or Sydney, for example, that the cost of the footprint, the cost of property is so high. But you know, for somewhere like for example cheap a square meter, then you know the cost of putting a mezzanine is going to outweigh the cost of expanding the footprint. So these are the things that we need to know. But when we are embracing this type of innovation or automations, again, we need to look at from the quality and also quantity. So quantity ROI is very important, right? But what other things that we can get out of the quality? So first of all, we increase the quality of operations. We increase the picking accuracy. We provide some sort of motivation within the current workforce. We create more capacity for our operation with the same headcount, and also and we also provide a green impact to our solution. So it's not just all about ROI. We also need to consider. So when we are selling automation, it's not just about the quantity, but also the quality they add into our operations. And you know, you run a quality operation, you keep your KPIs, you meet your SLAs. Of course, more opportunity comes after that.
Sure.
Yeah. I think just on that, Alan, very quickly, it's very important not just to be a sole customer solution, that you integrate multiple customers so you get that volume in. It doesn't necessarily have to be the exact same order profile, but you know, similar would help.
Okay, that's great. There's a question. Can you see your chat? There's a question from one of our audience there. If you want to read that, save me repeating it.
Yes. So it's from Sanjay.
Sanjay.
Sanjay. So give me a second. As I would. I would say for the low inventory turn, maybe no. We would like to have, we want to throw more volume out of the ASRs. Again, what we need to consider for these type of capital intensive models, especially for ASRS, when we are talking about like ASRS or shuttle system or auto store, they are good for, again, a huge range of SKUs, a small order profile, which you literally reduce the unit pick travel distances, and also the volume that we need to get for sales. So if you have a low inventory turn, you don't want to transfer your ASRS into a storage solution, because they are not meant to be in a storage solution. They are meant to be a picking. They are, well, if you just calculate the cost per square meter of putting an ASRS in there, if you it will be like it, you know, compared to a normal racking that you put in your warehouse, the cost per square may be X, but you know, when you put an ASRS, the cost per square meter will become like 20X, something like that. So for low turn, for a slow turn, I wouldn't recommend that, because
no, it's a very expensive storage solution.
Yeah, so exactly. Expensive storage. Expensive racking system. Gentlemen, it's been fascinating talking to you. It's been really good understanding what's out there, and really your presentation of complex solutions has been really great. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Thank you again, Alan and Darren, for your presentation. Really appreciate it. We may have to come back to you some other time to take the story further. Thank you again very much. Sure. All the very best. Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.